All right, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers and what went wrong for the Jets. It's yet another what went wrong video. I know you might look at this and say, well, wait a second, didn't they end up scoring 21 points? That couldn't have been that bad of an offensive performance. Worth noting, they had a short field on one of their touchdown drives, and another touchdown was special teams, so wasn't actually the offensive day you might think. Granted, there were some positives. Let's start off with some, in fact, like for one thing, I thought we saw Devontae Adams look like Devontae Adams again at times. You see him, it's a one-on-one matchup on the top of the screen. Rodgers is going to take the snap and look in that direction. He fires in that direction, and it's kind of one of those vintage Rodgers to Adams plays, really, where it's not like you see Adams with a ton of separation right away, but they just know how each other works, essentially. Rodgers sees that Adams has the outside leverage, and the defensive back has his back turned. Adams can play the ball, the defensive back can't. Rodgers makes a really accurate throw, Adams makes a nice catch, and they're able to pick up a conversion on 3rd down and 2. We saw a few of these plays, and I think that was a big way they were able to get the ball down the field and convert on some of those plays. Like this one in the end zone, you see a kind of similar thing. Adams one-on-one, Rodgers just knows where to put the ball to let Adams make the grab. Adams knows where Rodgers is going to put the ball. All that good stuff, right? Able to get a touchdown there. It's a good job by those two. And even this play, which was just fun, where what's going to happen is you see Rodgers. It's a weird play where they hand it off and then flip it back to number 14 for the Jets. Rodgers ends up in front, and hey, he's a competitor, right? Watch him go out, and he's gonna deliver a block. That's fun if you're a Jets fan. So you're having fun early on. If you're not one of those people that roots for your team to lose for a better draft pick, you're having fun. Your team is winning. Aaron Rodgers finally is looking like himself again, but things went wrong, and things were going wrong even before the issue started. But definitely, after they got up big, things really went wrong. But let's actually show some issues that happened that didn't allow them to get up more. So, for example, something like this, we'll touch on it more later in this video, but this is the big issue, is they just can't win on the outside. It's simply put, if your receivers aren't winning their one-on-one matchups, or if the quarterback isn't getting them the ball, whatever you want to say, it's hard to win football games. This is Garrett Wilson one-on-one on the outside. Watch how Aaron Rodgers is going to take the snap. He looks in that direction, fires in that direction, and there's a bit of a window. Now, is this a difficult throw to make? Yes, this is a difficult throw to make, but there's a potential for this to work. You see this throw is just a touch behind, and Seattle's defender is able to reach out and knock the ball away. He kind of wanted an interception there. Hard to blame for not getting the interception, but, still, that was a window. It wasn't wide open, no, but they weren't able to hit on this, and that's just the issue. Do you want to blame Wilson? Do you want to blame Rodgers? I'll let you decide, but that's a play that could have worked and didn't. I didn't love this play either, so what's going to happen is it's a zone coverage concept, and it's I actually think a really clever concept where you have two players who are in the backfield, both of whom's routes are going to matter on this play. So you have first just Devontae Adams running a route going more over the middle, and then you have one of the halfbacks is going to be running kind of more underneath, being around the line of scrimmage. Another one's going to kind of split the difference in between the two of them. Essentially, you have three players, different layers down the field. In theory, the Seattle Seahawks can't cover all three of those guys. When this play begins, usually it's the sort of the check down route, the route closest towards the line of scrimmage that ends up getting open. Here, though, Adams is open, and this is part of Rodgers' read, is throw to the open guy between these three players. Adams is open down the field. Now, there are linebackers he has to deal with. It's not the easiest throw in the world, but this is the window for sure. However, Rodgers was kind of locked into his early read. He checks it down, and hey, they gain 6 yards or so, but it could have been more, right? That's what you look at. So, not an ideal play there, in my opinion. One where I think he probably didn't make the right call on that one. And then also this play, which started off as a very fun play. So Rodgers takes a snap, immediately rolls out towards the bottom of the screen, but doesn't love what he sees, and he's under pressure. So what do? Well, hey, he's still Aaron Rodgers. Watch him then kind of dance around, gonna run back towards the top of the screen. Good blocking by the Jets. He gets to this point, sees a couple. I mean, you get what he sees here. Like there are a couple of Jets players who appear to be open. However, when he throws it off screen, a Seattle defender comes over and nearly gets the interception. Now, again, we didn't see that guy because he was off screen. Rodgers can see the whole field, of course. He should have noticed that could have thrown an interception there in the end zone and was lucky he didn't. But now let's go over here, because all those other plays, okay, fine, those are critiques, but they did score 21 points. And yes, as I mentioned, it wasn't just because of the offense. There was other factors at play, but still, there were things that were working, right? This sequence is really where the game turned, because they get to the 10-yard line. You have Garrett Wilson one-on-one. You're going to see this is a great move by Garrett Wilson. I mean, he completely fools the Seattle defender, and Rodgers just misses the throw. There's no getting around it. Now, it might have been just a tough chemistry thing, communication thing, but it's just tough because you had Garrett Wilson open. And of course, Rodgers doesn't know when he's throwing the ball how open Garrett Wilson is going to get. But still, it was an open Garrett Wilson. The throw was missed. Not ideal. But okay, it's still 3rd down and 8. But that brings up this play where, okay, 3rd down and 8. I'm going to highlight one specific Seattle defender right there. You're looking at him, and usually you'd think, okay, this guy is clearly going to be covering a wide receiver here. However, that's not what happens. Watch as it's a disguise here. He's actually blitzing on this play. Okay, Rodgers, what does he do? Well, he notices this. What's the old expression? You throw it to where the blitz is, because if it's a disguise, it's going to take somebody time to pick up that player. You see Garrett Wilson, he is open right here, so sure, get him the ball quickly. You understand the logic. The issue is Leonard Williams is dropping back into coverage over the middle of the field. And the thing is, Leonard Williams is not covering Garrett Wilson. That's not how this play works. It's the safety who is further deep who's covering Garrett Wilson. Leonard Williams just happens to be dropping back into coverage on this play. And, I mean, it's a good disguise, so I get why Rodgers is fooled, but Rodgers is fooled here. He makes the throw, didn't see that Leonard Williams was there. Williams ends up with a pick 6 on this play, interestingly enough. Is worth mentioning for those who care. Aaron Rodgers did not try to make a tackle on this play. He stood there while everyone else ran. Now, again, that's something that a lot of quarterbacks do, especially older quarterbacks. You don't want to take the extra hit. Tom Brady did this in his Buccaneers years. Like, you can critique him if you want. Some people will. But it's not like he's just being lazy. It's a strategic decision, right? Although, granted, you could make the argument that, hey, he was blocking earlier in the game. Here, he's not be willing to do that. But I don't know. It's worth mentioning, but not really worth getting into, in my opinion. But yeah, then kind of down the stretch, they had some key moments, and some moments that could have really, they could have done some nice things. Like here, it's a 21-13 game. If you can get the first down here, you have an opportunity to sort of extend your lead, make it a 2-score game again. You see where Adams is on the field. Rodgers decides to take the snap. He looks in Adams' direction. Adams gets open, and this ends up just hitting the ground. That was an incomplete pass. Looked like he had it, but he did not. That would have been a huge completion. It would have, again, put them in easy field goal range at the very least. They're just not quite able to make that play. Also, this one, another key moment. So now it's a 21-16 game. I promise this is a different play, despite the fact that it looks like a very similar play, similar spot on the field. 3rd down and 3 this time, though. You see where Adams is. Rodgers is going to take the snap right here. He looks in Adams' direction, fires, but that was just off. And then even on the 4th down and 15, okay, listen, it's a 4th and 15. I'm not expecting you to convert. I'm not really going to crush you for not converting a 4th and 15, obviously, right? But still, you see Garrett Wilson on this play. Watch as Rodgers takes a snap. It's a heavy blitz. He throws one up to Wilson, who is one-on-one, and they were just not on the same page. Wilson started cutting in towards the middle of the field. Rodgers instead throws it deep. It's like you're having miscommunications happen on a 4th down and 15, and you could say, well, it was a running clock. They still took all 40 seconds on the running clock, which was another mistake. They shouldn't have taken that long. I guess if Rodgers knew he was going for the end zone anyway, might as well take the time off the clock, I suppose, but still. You have to be on the same page in the biggest plays of the game. Obviously, they're not able to do that here, and because of that, the Seahawks were able to win. I mean, the Jets had an opportunity, and it feels like it's kind of a trend all season with the Jets. Like, if they played their best football, maybe they win some of these games, but, like, I don't know what their best football is because we've never seen it. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.